Hello everyone, Markus Mead here from Frog Eyes Wasabi. This video is episode 2 of 2 for thewasabistore.com about planting wasabi plant starts in the garden. Today we will be planting the wasabi plant starts received and shown as unboxing on episode 1, and today I'll be describing and displaying the soil recommendations, lighting recommendations, planting depth, and describing the watering cycle. So on episode 1, we unboxed these wasabi plant starts from the box and from this thermal lining. There were 10 plant starts in the bag, and we are planting 8 of them in this wine barrel, so there are 2 remaining in the bag. The wine barrel here contains 6 that are already planted. You can see around the perimeter of the barrel, and then one in the center. We will be planting the other 2, one at the 12 o'clock position and one at the 6 o'clock position. For orientation, this barrel is on the east side of the house. It has diffused light from trees on the south, west, and east side. We have that because we recommend, or I should say wasabi also grows best in diffused light. It can have some direct sunlight for brief periods, and some of the leaves will wilt, but if it's for a short period of time, they will spring back. And in fact, I'll show you the second barrel of which this is occurring right now. We'll walk across the path here, and this is our second wasabi barrel that was planted last summer. As you can see, on June 18th, this is very close to the solstice, and it has about an hour of direct sunlight today, and this only happens about this time of year. These leaves, as you can see, are wilting a bit, and they will spring back overnight and be perfectly fine. We wouldn't recommend anything more than about an hour of direct sunlight. As you can see, this barrel here is completely shaded, and it is throughout most of the year. On to planting then. This plant start was selected because it has a stem, but no appreciable roots to it, and the directions are to plant to the soil depth just below, about 1/4 inch below the intersection of the stem and the roots, which means that the depth of this will be only about 1 inch, and the plant can just remain upright. Backfill it a bit and make sure that the soil is not over that intersection of the petioles and the stem. And do not compact the soil. The wasabi plants like to have well-drained soil and like to have oxygen to the roots. So unlike other plants that there would be compacting of this, leave this nice and loose and just allow the water to compact it at the very end. The second planting will be with this plant start that does have a significant amount of roots. As you can see, this one has a few stems that grew after it was trimmed, and these grew in the refrigerator, and they did not photosynthesize this. They are white, and also showing that the plants after after 1 month in the refrigerator are still viable and healthy. The depth of the hole will be about 3/4 of this stem, so that it leaves that gap at the very top. So this hole will be slightly deeper, and it will be wider to accommodate the roots. We recommend putting these off to the side and not bunching them up underneath the stem. So I will scrape more than dig to allow a space for the roots. So plant this upright here and allow the roots to move about here a bit and backfill loosely. And that's it. As you can see, there's still some dimension between the intersection of the petioles and the stem. Some of the plant starts may not have an appreciable stem, such as this one. You can see, since I just planted it, the soil is nice and loose. This has no appreciable stem and a little bit of root, and it is essentially just resting in the soil, and the soil is just supporting it upright. As you can see, this stem grew when the plant was on its side, and all of these will straighten up, such as this one. All of these will straighten up as the plant is then righted. The potting mix on this is a ratio of 50% soil, which in this case is unhelpful clay, and then the other percent is a potting mix purchased at a local nursery. It is an organic potting mix. This brand is not necessary. Any potting mix would be just fine. And the watering cycle would be about equivalent to a lettuce. Keep the soil moist, and the hotter and drier it gets, the more increased watering it should be. In our experience, even on the hottest days here in Portland, at just over 100 degrees and probably 65% humidity, watering once a day was perfectly fine to keep the plants healthy throughout the summer. So again, diffuse light, little exposure to direct sunlight, 50% soil and 50% potting mixture. Planting depth is likely about 1 inch, but then again dependent on the length of the stem. The top of the soil should be just below the intersection of the petiole and stem. Do not compact the soil following planting. Allow the watering to compact it naturally, and you should see stems and leaves at 3 to 4 inches within about a month. We hope you enjoy your wasabi, and we hope your wasabi enjoys your garden. Thank you again for watching.